Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited, but we're gonna be viewing the new Alterego Canon palette, the Alterego Blooms palette, and the all new Alterego 12-piece brush set. So you guys wanna see what my thoughts are, how I created this look, well then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so typically I never start off my review with my whole makeup done. However, I need to point out a friend of mine that's with me today, and that is this. You guys see this? This ugly monstrosity? My best friend, she has two little babies and she's in school right now and working, and she just kind of needs a little help to watch the kids while she's in school, while her pretty much husband's at work. So I volunteered as a best friend would, and my first day on the job was on Wednesday, and I had little baby Leo sitting in my lap, and it was in the middle of his dance party, and he decides to throw his head back as I decided to put my head forward to give him a kiss, and we just smacked so hard. His head slammed into my lip, and I really went, and he's like, he put his hand to the back of the head, and I went, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And he kept looking at me, and I was like, Alyssa, and she's like, what? I'm like, I need a paper towel. And she's like, why? What's going on? And I didn't want to tell her, my mouth is filling with blood. So she came over and I moved my hand, and it's just dripping all down my cheek. She's like, oh my gosh. She ran and got me like a wet paper towel. I ran to the sink, spit some blood because it was bleeding freaking a lot. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, girl, don't even worry about it. It's okay. Accidents happen. Freak. I mean, my kids, my dogs, and I have headbutted before. It is what it is. It's the part of having kids in life. And I didn't get mad about it. And, you know, she keeps apologizing for it. And I'm like, girl, don't even bother. I just have a little extra friend today. So that is why my makeup is already done, because I didn't want you guys to be zoomed in staring at it the entire time. Now, the way I went about it, it's kind of funny. So you guys will see the bloopers of how I tried to hide it. But yeah, so instead I filmed my entire look for you guys. So I'm going to start playing it for you. But instead of like zooming guys into the makeup look together, I'm just going to talk about the entire palette. So first things first, we have the Canon palette right here. This is from Alterego. I have to say the packaging is just so freaking stunning. It is unbelievably beautiful. It looks just like the beautiful Canons that you see in all the pictures. And I've always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. It's like on my list. And you just see this and it just represents all those photos. You always see like the influencers like putting their hands against the walls and they're posing. Like, that's what I want to do. These are so gorgeous. When you open it up, it is a 15-pan eyeshadow palette that retails for $16, and it looks like this. Now, you're like, Allie, that's like a neutral palette, bitch. I know, but to me, it is so beautiful because yes, it is a neutral palette, but also has pops of colors to it. It is very, very beautiful. I utilized a lot of this palette. I used the shade Scorch, Cougar, Rattlesnake, Coyote, Earth, Rustic. I went in with Mule, and I was able to use a lot of these shades right here. So like I said, this retails for $16. You do get 15 shades in here. I will swatch these for you guys, but I can say that it's really, really beautiful color. The mattes lay down really, really nicely. Like when I first went in with my eye look, I went in the shade Rust right here, and I actually started to buff it out with the shade Earth. I think it's a really, really beautiful color. It really helps to complement each other. And when you mix the two together, it kind of creates like almost like an orange base. And what I like about this is that it really represents like deserts. Like you see really good desert colors in here. The names are very representative of having a desert theme. It is very, very beautiful. So once I end up blending those out on the crease, for the like shade right here, I actually use the shade Scorch, and you can see where my thumb is at, and I lay that all over the lid because I thought it was just a really, really beautiful shade. It just blends so easily into the matte formula. Then once I was done with that, I actually put the shade Cougar just right in the center to really help to enhance the look. Now for underneath my eye, I actually went in with the shade Mule right here, and I buffed it out with the shade Rattlesnake to get the underneath. And for the inner corner, I went in with the shade Plateau right here. Now, I have said this before, I really do like Alterego. I think they're an amazing brand. I was actually first introduced to Alterego by a wonderful subscriber, Kristen Lee. She introduced me to this brand, and I have fallen in love with their products. They work so well. A lot of times they do dupe other brands, and you know, it's a very thin line to do that, but their formula is incredible. It speaks for itself, especially for the price point, which I actually really appreciate. So my last Alterego review, I was really like, oh, I was so excited because it was the Artemis palette and it looked a lot like the Natasha Denona Metropolis's palette. And I hated it. I hated it so much, only because I couldn't understand the formula. It was a cream to powder formula. I never played around with the Natasha Denona once. I didn't understand that formula. And the brand was so incredibly sweet. They literally reached out to me. They told me how to make the formula work. They explained it, and I tried and I just still could not get into it. It just wasn't my jam. And that's completely okay, because I know so many people out there really did enjoy the palette. I just unfortunately just wasn't into the formula. But this formula here, I have swatched. I played around with it. I played around with it before, before filming today, and I really thoroughly enjoy it. So let me go ahead and swatch the colors, go over a little bit with you guys. Go over the first row. All right, so for the first row, we do have the shade Mule, followed by Desert Sun, followed by Plateau, followed by Scorch, followed by Expanse. All right, so for the second row, we have the shade Blaze. This beautiful russet color. I really do like this. It laid down beautifully. It blended out beautifully. Very stunning. Then we have Cliff, Cougar, and Sear. Now for the last row, we do have Earth, this beautiful like doo-doo brown, but it blends out really nicely. We have this, again, gorgeous shade Coyote. Underneath that's Rattlesnake. This is definitely a transition shade, but it doesn't swatch very well. Then we have Rust, and then this very gorgeous Desert Moon right here. Very beautiful. Oh, I do apologize. If you guys hear loud noise in the background, my husband is streaming right now, so it's going to be pretty loud. But it says, according to the website, take a trip through our collection of 15 Canon-inspired eyeshadows featuring earthy browns, sparkling bronzes, and soft, contrasting neutral tones. Again, I have never been like the biggest fan of neutral colors, but I thoroughly think that this is such a beautiful neutral eye palette. And like I said, I'm not a nude bitch, but I feel like this is definitely like not necessarily a nude eye look. It kind of has more of an orange undertone. The mattes lay down so beautifully. They blended out very nicely, and the shimmers are absolutely beautiful. Now, this is a formula that I love from Alterego, so I'm definitely obsessed with this palette. I'm going back to it time and time again. My two favorite from Alterego has always been the Goddess and the Aurora palette. It's why I featured them in my 12 days of giveaway, because I really love those two palettes with like all my heart. So the fact that they created this, and I'm really digging it. Like, I'm loving this eye look that I created. I think it's very beautiful. I really want to play around with this Desert Moon next. So gorgeous. Very easy palette to work with. So for the next palette, we do have Bloom. Now this is definitely based upon flowers. Surprisingly enough, I'm not the biggest flower girl, and it's like so weird, but when you open it up, this is how the palette looks. So with this one, I use different shades to mix things up. I kind of want to do the similar thing that we did right here. So I started off with the shade Snapdragon right here. Now, when I started to lay down, I did get a little patchy right here in my brow, but I don't know if it's because if it's the palette or if it's just me. A lot of times I get pretty patchy on this particular eye. It doesn't always hold well with the eyeshadow. I don't know why, but I started off with this shade and then I blended out with Peony right here. I think I'm saying that right. Blended out with this shade. Very beautiful. They kind of muddling together, but they still blended out really nicely. Then I went in the shade Petunia right here. And whenever I think of that name, I always think of like Harry Potter, Petunia, but it is a very gorgeous shift, which I'll show you guys when I do my swatch, but it has a pink to orange shift. Absolutely stunning. I love that duochrome shift. It's very gorgeous. Then I took a little bit of Lily and Calla right here, just a little bit on my finger, and just dabbed it right into the center to create just a little bit more dimension. Blended out beautifully. For underneath the eye, I went in with this shade Lush, and I blended it out with the shade Azalea. I think I'm saying this true, right? If I am, I am. If I'm not, I do apologize. But I blended it out, very gorgeous. And then for the inner corner, I went in with the shade Fuchsia right here. Now, again, this palette does retail for $16. You do get 15 shades in here. And the website says, like the flourishing flowers of spring, Bloom features 15 total shades of varying pinks, purples, and neutral tones for effortlessly blending and contrasting. And I have to say, the blending and contrasting on this is absolutely so easy, so beautiful. So let me go ahead and swatch these so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so for the very first row, we do the shade Peony, Azalea, Daisy, which is a little thrown off because it is like a gray shade. It's a little throwing me off just a little bit because you usually think of Daisy as like white and yellow, not necessarily gray, but we do have Calia and Black Dahlia right here. All right, so for the second row, we do have the shade Snapdragon, Fuchsia, that beautiful petunia shade that said does shift between orange and pink. Then we do have Lily and Lush right here. Okay, so last but not least, we do have this shade Violet. The shade Orchid does not want to swatch at all. I keep trying to dig my finger in here and it is just not wanting to swipe. It's a very, very light pigmented shade, just not wanting to work for me in that one. I don't know if that's how it's intended, but this is just not really good shade. You guys can see right here that it is definitely blending itself away. Like it's just becoming very patchy and all I did was swipe it. So there is something that's something to take note. We did Petal, Rose, and Hibiscus. Now, hibiscus. Now, between the two palettes, I have to say that Canon is my absolute favorite. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I do like Blooms. It's not my favorite, only because I'm not the biggest fan of pink and purples. It's just not my particular color scheme. I know you guys like seeing it on me. It's just not something I particularly go for all the time. I can safely say these two palettes would actually definitely complement each other very well. You can mix and you can match, but if I had to pick one to get, I highly recommend Canyon. So beautiful. But if you are into the pinks and the purples, this is definitely a really beautiful palette to play with as well. So easy to work with. Like I said, the mattes and the shimmers are really, really nice. The only problem I'm having with this is this shade Orchid right here is my only issue. But other than that, these are working very, very beautifully. Now, I do want you guys know that I do have a discount code with Alterego. It's code Dawson10, which will actually save you guys 10% off your purchase, and Alterego does offer Afterpay. So definitely check them out. Now, moving on to the final piece, we do have a brand new brush set from Alterego. So we have the new Alterego 12-piece complete brush set. So it does come with this beautiful black leather bag right here, or it feels like kind of leathery, and it has like rose gold emblems, and you open it up, a nice big bag. And then we have all the brushes right here. Now, I did play with these brushes today. They're very, very soft. The eye brushes, I use this packer brush, particularly for this eye right here. The packer brush laid down the color very, very nicely. It went right into the crease, packed that color full in, and then I blended it out with this big blender brush right here. Very, very soft, blended the shadows very, very nicely. I thoroughly do enjoy them. I brushed these and did my brows with little spoolies. I was able to utilize the other small brush right here to do underneath the eye. Again, very, very gorgeous. I use this on this eye a lot to do smaller blending to see how that would work. Again, super, super nice. I didn't really play around with the face brushes too much, but they're very soft. I'm eager to dive into them, but I definitely think that for $26, you get a makeup bag and a whole set of brushes. It's actually really nice, and these are so freaking soft. I'm not gonna lie, super soft. So I think it's really cool that they released new brushes. They're very, very beautiful. They're very cohesive. It just like says 3 Alterego. So I know this will probably be like my contour brush, probably powder brush. This might be like your, again, another foundation brush. You have like a little highlighter brush right here, and yeah, these are some really nice brushes. Speaking of brushes, I do want to let you guys know that Bling Brushes is actually restocking their silver set of Bring on the Bling collection. They're finally restocking this entire set right here, which they have not restocked, I swear, since like October of last year. So nice they're restocking it back. You guys can use code Allie to save you guys 10% off your purchase. It's actually going to be restocking tomorrow, the 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys go check this out. I know I get asked all the time if I know when they're coming back, and they finally are. But what are my thoughts on this entire collection? Guys, I'm actually really impressed. Alterego did a great job. I really do love this makeup bag. It's so soft, really nice and big. It'd be a great traveling size bag as well if you don't just put your brushes in here. It's a great makeup traveling bag, super nice. The brushes that I used worked really well, very soft, very blendable, doesn't get dirty. They made those shadows go on very nicely. I really do enjoy that. They went on very softly. For the eyeshadow palettes, I really do love the Canon palette right here. It is probably going to be one of my top used palettes for Alterego. I just can't get over how gorgeous these shades are. And I'm not a nude bitch. You guys know this. I'm a color whore. And they're freaking selling me on freaking nudes. I love how this looks. I think it's so gorgeous. Very nicely. Actually, before I forget to tell you guys, I'm actually wearing the Alterego lashes layer. I'm wearing the lashes. I think the lashes are about $7. Really nice and very comfortable. Has the thinnest band. Great for beginners if you guys don't have something that's too thick, you're unsure about how lashes are, if you really like them. I highly recommend checking these out. Very affordable with the thinnest band. Super nice. You never feel them on you. I love them. I could wear them all day and not even realize I'm wearing lashes. So that's something to take note. But I almost forgot to tell you guys that. But yeah, I feel like this review is like all over the place. I'm so sorry. It is literally at 11 o'clock at night. I never film this late, but I have my weekend is so packed right now, and I wanted to get this filmed without this nastiness on my lip. But yeah, I highly recommend the Canon palette. It is going to be one of my top used along with Aurora and Goddess. It is so pretty, so beautiful. And if you're a neutral bitch, I'm telling you, you are going to love this. It is beautiful. Now, if you're into the pinks and the purples, I do recommend checking this out. It's not my favorite. It's beautiful. It's just not my favorite just because I'm not into that color scheme, and it's nothing against them. It's just I prefer Canon over this. So I just want to say thank you so much to Alterego for sending this out my way. I thoroughly appreciate this. These just launched this past Tuesday, so they're still available right now for you guys to go get your hands on them, and I don't think that you guys would be disappointed. The formula is amazing and the shimmers are amazing. So yeah, thank you so much, Alterego, and thank you guys so much for being here and looking at this and this weird review that I never do review like this, but I couldn't have you guys zoomed in staring at that monstrosity. It's just I hate looking at it. So yeah, guys, with that said, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 3 to 4, sometimes 5 videos a week. Make sure you guys check out my other channels, R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures with my amazing husband, Corey. And a huge thank you to all these beautiful Patreon members that you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for believing in me and letting me live my dream. It would not be possible without each and every single one of you guys. I appreciate you guys all so much. And to you, the person watching this right now, thank you so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, dislike this video, subscribe, didn't subscribe, or unsubscribed, however you guys choose to do it. Either way, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. So yeah, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye! Speaking of brushes, I do want to let you guys know that Bling Brushes is actually releasing, speaking of brushes, I do want to let you guys know, I'm actually really impressed. I think this palette, guys, I feel like this review is all over the place. So now I can safely say that these two palettes are definitely, I can safely Fluffy. I blended out this big buff. I blended it out with this big. This looks so freaking stupid, but like I don't even care. Oh my god, this looks so stupid. I just didn't want to zoom you guys in and look at that hideous freaking mark on my lips because it is freaking hideous. I don't want to look at it, so I don't want you guys looking at it. Really love this shade. I really love for the eyeshadow palettes. Okay, I know I look stupid and I'm okay with that. So Alterego also produces eyeshadow bases, so we're gonna use this today. I did one eye at a time because it's just easier to do it that way. Okay, so before we begin today's video, let's call out the elephant in the room. Bob 2.0. Ross, we'll call it Ross, you know, Bob and Ross. Yeah, you see, this is the shade. Oh.